can hear me. Welcome to GameFace. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I've already showed my knees, haven't I? I've already gone, It's like a subtle thing there, haven't it? I can't wear shorts and not let you know immediately. It's supposed to be my little secret. Anyway, tonight I am wearing an Insert Coin t-shirt. We have got a little bit of a deal with them, so if you go on insertcoinclothing.com, if you use the code GameFaceUp20, you get 20% off, which is like your shipping and a bit more probably, isn't it? So if you do use Insert Clothing, please use our code, because it looks good on us then. It makes us look like big fish. Whereas, in fact, we're like little fish just screaming dead loud. But yeah, GameFace Up 20. Please use that code if you can. Tonight we've got a bit of a special one for you. We've got the lads from Voxel Storm in the studio. What was that? There we go. How dare you? I can see it. I can see it there. 02, Voxel Storm. Don't you be putting that on me. And then 03 is Sphereface, the game we're going to be talking about. He's not putting that on me. I queued that up properly. How dare you? Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. That's going to be the majority of the show. We do have Skype open, though, so if you want to ask them some questions or whatever, I'm sure Hayden, on his own over there on the desk, would adore random Skype calls off you and adore trying to frame the three of us into shot. It's going to be open all show. Just search GameFace Show on Skype. I think we're called GameFace Show Skype. That's our last name. But yeah, if you would like to get in touch and ask the lads a question, that's fine. You can do that. You can ask them about Sphereface, Voxel Storm, anything. Ask them about anything you want. It's all good. I've got a bit of news for you before we do, though. Oracle has got a brand new stream out on our Twitch channel every Wednesday at 10 p.m. He's going to be doing a bit of Game Boy retro gaming stuff. He started yesterday. So we've actually... We're almost a sniff in terms of being a legit Twitch channel now, aren't we? We've got two things that we've scheduled, and it's not just when I can just randomly get 20 minutes on Minecraft with my daughter going, just get off, and I'm just trying to play. We've actually got a scheduled thing now every Wednesday at 10 p.m. UK time. Oracle is taking over the Twitch, so join him. And we actually got a couple of new subscribers whilst he was on last night, so that's very, very good. Chipwrecked is happening right now, so there's going to be a few faces on the stream, so I can see the chat there. There's going to be a few faces that I don't see because you're out there having a wonderful time in the biggest chiptune event in Europe currently, and I couldn't go, so I hope you're having fun. Not happy about that. I'm really gutted. No, but I did want to give you a shout out, and I hope I do hope you're having a wonderful time. But God, I hope I can get there. So I've got to sort this bloody. What do you do with babies though? I've not worked it out yet. How do you go to festivals when you got kids? I've just not... I'm sorry, you're not even on the show yet. I'm shouting at you. It's what happens when you get here. Game over, that's what. A little bit more news for you. There's a new dude on Heroes of the Storm. I've not been playing that myself. I used to adore it. But yeah, Kel Fazad from Warcraft is... he's there. There he is. Huge. He's there. He's a new character. It's a big part of the autumn event. And yeah, it's World of Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm. Two games I was insanely obsessed with. And you're doing that. That's the thing that you told me never to do. Oh, look how hot it is in here. It's very hot. I'm not like, I had a shower just before I came here. I'm not like, well, I am sometimes. Everyone is. Everyone skips it now and again, don't they? And, the smell of your own filth isn't so bad. But no, I was clean when I got here. Blame this studio. There was a new trailer for Shenmue's just been released. Did you see this? And a lot of people were freaking out because it wasn't a trailer, it was a teaser. And gamers being the reasonable sorts that they are, freaked out because they haven't done the facial animations yet, which makes perfect sense because they haven't recorded the audio yet, so they've got nothing to animate against. And for me, I watched it and I had butterflies. I was dead excited. I thought, compare it to the old games, it looked absolutely wonderful. I'm getting there. I get to carry on with Rio and just like, that's, it's one of my favourite games of all time. I was dead excited. Some people weren't impressed and they went on the internet and had a big go at the world and it's not fair. And they took out all their usual sort of parental issues out on you, and not you, but you as in you that's making the game. And but just leave it be, man. They've got another year. It'll be fine. It'll be good. Just chill, relax, be cool. I've been told you don't, or you get a babysitter. The thing is, I can get a babysitter for like one night or something, but in terms of buggering off to a festival, because I've got to get ourselves to take time off work, so she's using holiday pay, which is precious. For what? What are you doing? Oh, I'm going to go get wrecked in a field and listen to chiptune. Why? Are you getting paid? No, it's going to cost a lot though. Can I have some money to do it? No. There's just no justification, is there? I can't do it. Right, we're going to skip the next one because I'm jabbering a bit. So we're going to go straight on to Mass Effect. It's not going to be getting supported at all anymore. And again, this has been another one where there's been a huge fuss and everyone going, oh, how dare you blame us? But the fact that gamers went mental slagging it off, of course that's going to affect DLC. Of course that's going to affect sequels and all that. Just calm down. They don't owe you anything, these people. You do realise that, don't you? Like, they're businesses there to make money. Oh, God. I can't even... No. Apparently we've only got a 540 stream.
If it's on Twitch, there's nothing I can do about that. We're broadcasting 720.
We're putting out at 720, so click source. Well, it shouldn't be 540. That's disgraceful. No, try clicking source or something.
Should be 1080.
Yeah.
We'll switch to full HD for the next season.
We'll switch to full HD. But not now, because, God, we're not stopping this stream now. It was like, it was whining stuff and stuff. You've no idea what we went through just to get it on. So we're not stopping now and carrying on.
Twitch is putting out 540.
Apparently Twitch is... Well, we're not giving Twitch 540. We're not giving them that. Try Facebook if you search GameFace Show. If you search GameFace... Yeah, I can see the options there. We're definitely putting out in HD. So screw them.
The Twitch have given us 540.
They've what? They've given it back to us at 5... What?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and fire it back up. If
Fix
I change it, it might go off for 1 second.
Thanks for letting me know.
There we go. No, we can't change it while we're broadcasting.
Those scumbags. I'm so sorry about that. If you go on the Facebook, you can watch it there. And it's definitely... I don't know what's going on. Twitch. Everyone goes on about Twitch like it's amazing. It's crap.
Next season is going out for 1080.
Yeah, we'll go out 1080. But you know what? Screw the bandwidth. I say that as if I've got any responsibility for any of that side of things. I just turn up here and go, can you put the pictures on? I don't do... Yeah. Here we go anyway. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Something's happened. We're definitely... Move on anyway. But yeah, 540, what?
That was set to 720, so I'll figure it out.
I don't know. The May movie has just been released. One of these little short films. Overwatch is so good for that. They don't just support the game, but they're creating sort of all the lore and everything about it. If you are watching that on YouTube, I'm going to put a little iCard there. You can have a little watch of it there, but I'm sure you have. Just search Overwatch movie. You can have a wee look at this. What? I'm getting like a lot of abuse on the laptop there, like enough to stop me. What the fuck has happened to it this time? Are you what?
Keep talking. Let me go and have a look at this.
I'm not even dealing with that yet.
I'll deal with that right now.
That's insane. I'm not even dealing with that. I've done something wrong apparently in my private life. No, this is a private message on Messenger. Yeah, no, you can't help me with that. Can't even help me with that. I don't know what's going on. In terms of the ridiculously high production values that we've got going on this evening, I should tell you that I'm also on Live Leak just after this, and it'll be more of the same. If you'd like to support us, please get your ass on Twitch Prime. If you connect your accounts, you can click, I think it's once every 30 days, you can click the account and you give us money and it doesn't cost you anything. And then maybe Twitch won't screw us on the bandwidth or whatever the hell they're doing this 540 nonsense. It's made me really angry, that. It's made me proper legit angry, 540. I don't know what's going on there. Right! I've jabbered and I've given you my highlights of the news this week. So we're going to play a little bit of a video about the guys who are getting on now. right, thanks for joining us. How cool was that? We're going to get on to Sphereface in a moment, but I've got Eugene and Nog. Is it Nog?
Nog's fine, yeah.
I've been saying it all day because I knew it, but as soon as you get here and you're like, you gaff, aren't you, from Wayne's World, and you're like, oh my god, and then I thought I'm just gonna mess it up because I'm really good at messing up names. But so we got Eugene and Nog from Voxel Storm. Do you want to tell us what the hell's a Voxel Storm?
So it's our game company. We've been running it for about 4 years now. We made a couple of games, 5 years I guess. Made a couple of games. We generally make our own 3D engines. We try and do things a little bit differently. We create things that are not necessarily the most accessible games, but make you think a lot more than the average.
Yeah, because because obviously I've stalked you guys for a little bit of time now, and there is that kind of attitude with you of like, well, check the wiki, do your research. Yeah. It's not that sort of hand-holding thing.
No, not at all.
And do you think that sort of attitude is part of like the fact that you make your own engines and all that? Like if we had to suffer, you've got to work for it.
I think we try not to take the easy route in anything, and so I guess we see the most rewarding games as ones that make you take the hard route as well. And then you find that your achievements are worth something in that.
That's an interesting perspective. I like that.
Don't you?
Mostly, but I like my accessible games as well. But sometimes you just want to like mess around. But
so, what's the most accessible game you've made, and what's the least accessible game you've made?
They're none of them accessible. Probably Sphereface is our most accessible because you can pick up and play it as a sort of shooter, can't you, really?
yeah.
You can almost treat it like Asteroids at the beginning. You won't get very far, of course, but you can start playing it quite easily. Our least accessible, probably Advert City, because there's no really meaningful tutorial. You have to figure out exactly how to... There is a tutorial. You know, it's enough for me.
It's enough for some people to get going, and like a lot of people have put stuff on the wiki that like.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and there's a lot of
it's
resources
kind of,
online, the wiki, for example. But also, you know, we've got a few guides on the site and stuff.
So go on then. Let's start with Advert City then. What's the crack with that then? Explain to me, because some of these guys might not have a clue you are, whatever. So explain to me specifically, what am I getting if I get Advert City?
So Advert City is a game in a genre that's completely unique. It's an advertising tycoon game set in a future dystopian cyberpunk world, like Blade Runner. If you picture the opening scenes of Blade Runner and you're flying through a city and it's all dark and there's these huge adverts everywhere, and then you're the guy who's putting these adverts in this world. That's your role in the game.
Fair enough. I knew that. I was just doing it for their benefit, really, because you might not. You'd be sat there going, you're like, oh, well, you know, we all know how hard Advert City is, but you might not do, and you might be interested in this. I know our Soph is sort of looking for that kind of game at the moment. I've been pushing her that way, but our Soph, you know,
it's in at the deep end, though.
Yeah, but she kind of wants to, you know, she's sort of jumped back on Civ and stuff recently, so she does kind of want that stuff that's just making her go, oh. And anything that stops her playing Dream Daddy makes me happy, to be honest, because I'm so sick of that game. But yeah, I've been trying to sort of push her towards that, you know, like, oh, I'm chatting to these guys. She's the one that's been freaking out because she thought, you know, when I was looking before, she thought I'd broke this computer. It's not broke, it's fine, look, it's all right. She misread my message. So what came after Advert City then?
So it took a while to develop Sphereface. We actually started it sooner than Advert City. We put it on pause because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been in the pipeline for like 5 years, nearly 4 years.
Yeah, it was.
It started off as a sort of almost an idea just for a VR game, and then it developed from there. But we paused it to make Advert City, and we got back onto it after that. So it has quite a long foundation. But then we spent the following 2 years working on Sphereface, which is, as already mentioned, a kind of VR-friendly game that you don't require a VR setup for. So you can play exactly the same, have the same experience with keyboard and mouse, or with a PlayStation controller, Xbox controller, something like that. And it's kind of like Asteroids, reimagined, but wrapped around the inside of a sphere.
Well, we've just been watching it, haven't we?
Well, you saw the trailer, exactly.
I'm just wondering with it, like, it's sort of... You know, this stage that we live in now in terms of the instant feedback, like, you're in 540, you know, just straight away, especially if it's negative, people are so quick to jump out, you know, like that. But has any feedback for Sphereface come and actually altered the development or altered you know, I'm just wondering about that, because that's the age we live in now.
No, very much so.
And it's not necessarily always a bad thing. You know, there's some people that are like that Shenmue before, like, you've ruined Christmas, but it can be positive and constructive.
Well, we built that into our entire development process from the beginning, because we ran a Kickstarter mostly to get beta testers So a lot of backers became beta testers in our long closed beta. We had closed beta for something like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And they were just testing it very extensively, trying out all the features before we opened it to the public to make sure it was absolutely polished. Because that was one of the things that we did a little bit wrong, I think, with Advert City. We didn't test it quite enough. We rushed to release it a little bit too quickly. And then people found a lot of bugs after release. So we wanted to make sure, we kind of went the other way, really. We probably tested it for too long. But yeah, we made sure that everything is absolutely tested to death and got a lot of feedback from a lot of people. We had a huge private beta testing team.
For me, the most valuable thing though is just like putting it in front of someone and just watching them like get confused or whatever, and you fix what confused them. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really good.
So is that sort of a positive thing for you then? Do you enjoy that element of it then?
It's a bit of, like mostly positive, but it's also kind of a bit of anxiety putting something which you know is maybe a bit broken in front of someone. But
Because I've been rebuilding the GameFace website at the moment, GameFaceShow.com, because it wasn't working. It was built like a blog, and we don't blog. This is what we do. And this wasn't even on the front page, the fact that we do this, and this is where we put all our time and effort. So I've been rebuilding it at the moment, and it's in that weird halfway stage where I just made it live with a quick fix. But I'm at the point now, if anyone, and it wouldn't take long to do, if anyone pulled it apart, I'd be crying in the shower all night. I'd be like, what's the deal with this? That parallax is terrible. And I'm like, I don't know how to do it yet. Is there anything in terms of development at Spearface that you've sort of really learned, as you know, from the start, maybe something that you never even imagined in terms of the world that you're now there, especially with the sort of 5-year development cycle?
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest things, for me at least, was interfaces, because you have to accommodate so many different interface styles. A lot of people play it on PC with just keyboard and mouse, but it's so easy to expect, okay, you've got a screen, it's going to be wider horizontally than it is vertically, and you can click on things. You've got to throw all of that out of the window when you've got a virtual reality setup. You can't have anything stuck to a screen, you can't have any heads-up displays. Everything has to be three-dimensional, so you can look around in space, and you don't feel like anything's attached to your face in VR. And then, of course, if you want to look around with a controller, it's a completely different experience as well. So you have to make sure that you can accommodate all of these different input styles and all these interfaces. That was one of the biggest learning experiences for me, I think. Because it's not obvious. Nobody really talks about interfaces in games. At least, not what I see.
there's some, but like VR stuff especially is quite early days. So there's a lot of unsold stuff. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on VR at the moment? Because that was a weird. VR's a weird one for me because at the start of the year I was super mega excited about it, and I've moved now in terms of it keeps changing. It's like this really abusive relationship that we've got at the moment. Because then the sort of arcade club and places like that started getting the high end, you know, where they just and I was like, yeah, that'll work. You know, you and 3 of your mates all together. That you'd never do that usually, but all in the same place. I could get behind that. But then the Oculus, they've cut the price on it now, and I started getting excited about it being in the homes because I was just convinced home VR is going to be dead. You know, aside from like phone VR or whatever. But I was convinced it was going to be dead. But now I'm getting all giddy and excited again about it, and I don't know what your thoughts are.
You go on.
Okay.
I have a lot to say, but it's mostly whining about open source.
I'm mostly looking forward to like when the headsets are totally standalone and wireless, and you can just like put it on, not have to like set up your living room with a bunch of stands and everything. And then I think that like just going to get quite like widespread at that point.
Do you see that happening anytime soon, though?
There's Google are working on one which is totally standalone, plus tracking and everything.
It's kicking about. It's kicking about now, slowly, isn't it? It's going to be like going from a rotary phone to, you know, an Android that we've got now, isn't it? That'll almost be the difference, you know? That's my feeling anyway. Right now, we're on the old rotary phones in terms of VR tech.
Yeah.
Bloody amazing, but and it does what it's supposed to do.
Sometimes.
Well, what does sometimes mean? Go on. Go on.
Well, one of the problems I think is that so far in the industry, the actual developers of the headsets have been their own worst enemies in many ways. So, for example, Oculus, they started off with a fairly open SDK. They allowed developers to make whatever they wanted. And then, of course, they sold out to Facebook. They started closing things off. They dropped Linux support, even though they promised it the whole time. They turned on a lot of their core users that way. And they made it less available and made it limited to these few engines that supported it universally. And then with HTC Vive, Steam VR, people have been asking, they've been promising Linux support, for example, the whole time. No sign of it fully supported still after all these years. Same thing with Mac. No chance of running it on Mac effectively. You have to jump through so many hoops. And it just limits the accessibility and also limits how many creators can reach it. So it's not really democratized. After a while, I think we're going to see more open source developments, and then it really will democratize a lot more, and it'll be then available to pretty much everybody to develop on. But it's not there yet, and it's because the creators, well, the developers of the headsets are holding back the entire industry artificially. I know it's a pretty sweeping statement.
No, I'm not. You see, for me, I was obsessed with you got to get a Vive,
Yeah.
But now the Oculus has gone cheaper. I'm kind of like, well, money. But that's always in the back of my mind that there's not that sort of standardised. It's not that world where. And I was arguing about this with consoles the other day. I think they should just get rid of consoles. I think there's a slight place for something like the Switch, but even that you'll be able to do all that on a tablet soon enough anyway. We wouldn't accept it like with HD DVD and Blu-ray. That didn't last very long because as a movie buff or as a film watcher, you're like, I'm not buying two different formats to enjoy my thing. I just want the one. And I honestly think with consoles they should just scrap it. You can still buy from the corporation that you adore and that protects you. But, I want the Sony one, but there should be standardized architecture in it. And I honestly think that would help. You can still buy the Microsoft one and, my pad screen and all that. But do you get what I mean? Be like Blu-ray or whatever, or be like with PCs or whatever. As long as there was an agreed architecture and they just updated it every sort of 3, 4, 5 years or whatever. Yeah. And I think the only way that VR is going to survive is if it goes a similar route.
Definitely.
Why not? I mean, look at USB, man.
Well, it took so long to achieve that. Before that, you had serial ports and PS2 ports. 20 years almost, really.
Yeah. But now you get your new C-type, and already people are going, oh, this is ridiculous. It's not compatible. Yeah. And I honestly think it's a lot of the time it's just the artificial chase for money in it.
Oh, definitely.
It's the guys at the top. A lot of the times they haven't got a bloody clue what's going on. They were sleeping with so and so's son or whatever, and that's it. It's all schmoozing and everything, but they don't actually. I find a lot of them have zero understanding. I met a guy. I'm not going to say on air actually who it was, but we met a guy. We were telling him about chip. He was a big guy, and never heard of it. Absolutely blew his mind the fact that chiptune was a thing. I was like, how are you even? Because it's not really a thing. It's like, do you not know what a Commodore is? Like, it's not actually a thing.
Not new,
The fact that a Game Boy makes sound isn't some mind-blowing thing. You know what I mean? It's like, dude,
definitely.
Have you never? No idea. Absolutely no idea. And I honestly think it's just completely out of touch.
Definitely. Well, corporations especially that are making things like VR headsets, they begin with a monopoly. And they hook up with the people who have monopolies. Case in point, Oculus and Facebook.
Yeah.
No one's going to shake that until somebody else is big enough to challenge that. So, of course, they've got no reason to give it up. They'll just help each other as long as they can.
A lot of people felt really upset when Oculus was bought by Facebook.
Yeah, very much so.
They'd gone in, kickstarting this thing, which was meant to be, this plucky kind of, startup, and then...
Yeah.
Same thing's happening with Steam VR as well, though, because they've got all these little partners in industry, NVIDIA, and... all of these little individual companies who are responsible for various engines, Unreal, for example, Unity. And so, of course, they're going to pander to those partners first. And until someone knocks them off their perch, why should they change that?
For me, if Oculus hadn't sold to Facebook, they'd just be the easy market leader at the moment in terms of VR. They would, but like you said, with the Facebook thing, it created that opening for HTC to just go and just shove in, and not only that, they only improved the specs slightly. It's not like crazy better. They're both really good. I don't know, but I think people would have stuck with Oculus just because of that. God, I've got a proper bug in my ass at the moment, haven't we? Like this sort of corporate thingy, haven't I? Everything goes back to it like, how dare you love them? They just want your money. They just want your bloody money. There's not some Oculus takes care of me or anything like that. It's like all this stuff with Nintendo at the moment going, how dare you running all this? I couldn't get a SNES. It's like, so what? Just, they're not your friends. God, I need to get more sleep, don't I? Hey, Danny, are you putting stuff on the comm sheet? Because I can hear you typing constantly and I can't see any of it.
You can't see any of it?
I can't see anything. I can see that. Sorry, I can see that you're live on it. Can't see a thing. You're saying loads of stuff.
Would you like me to say it out loud for you?
Just tell me, because I can't see shit here.
Okay, shall I put my mic?
Go on, put your mic on, yes, and everyone
Yes,
can hear you.
So, there we go. I
Go
think you can hear me now. It's FTHTYRJY says, why did they give Riot a glass of water, but not Norg?
Teach a man to fish, you know.
I left my water over there. But
Would it make you happy if I went and got the water? What do you want me to get him some? I'll get him some. Where's your water?
I was on the desk over there, I think.
Is it on the desk there? Is it that white cup?
No, there's another glass like down the other end.
Isn't it? I'll get him his water, right? Yeah. Just
Please.
you. Oh no, Aiden's doing it. There we go.
On the desk.
Yeah.
There's a whole series of empty glasses.
There's a load of empty glasses here.
I might have finished it.
You can have some mine if you
This
like.
empty glass with the rubber band around it.
No.
He had it. He had
Similar glass to
water.
this one. Probably that one. Yeah, that one.
This one. Would you like
Yeah.
me to go and put some fresh water in?
Go on.
Back in a minute.
He's got a blue tick on Twitter,
I have.
and you're sending him. You're sending him out for water, like
We're
oh,
starting a hashtag.
Watergate. Watergate. I love it. That made me so happy. Oh, I forgot to ask you guys about that before we came on. If you want to have a look at the chat, him there, that one. No, but yeah, it's there anyway. Oh, bless! I can't believe that. It's me. We're gonna see him as well. Come back when they arrive, though. I took them to the kitchen. Tea, coffee. I told them where the loo was and everything, didn't I?
Terrible host, Boo. Got me running around.
Got him running around. I'm so sorry. Look at this. There we go.
Blue tick water.
There you go.
There you
It's
go.
got a blue tick, Jim. Are we good now? I've got mine here as well.
Cheers.
Yeah, I get mine in a plastic. I can't be trusted.
Sippy cup.
I'm happy now. It's completely broken my flow though. But we were drifting into the area of just like moaning about the scene and all that, and it's easy to do because it's a weird one at the moment because so many people are gamers, so many. It's very much it's a mainstream thing now, but unfortunately the mainstream media doesn't want to present it because they're like, again, it's money, innit? It's all about money because they're like, oh god, if we talk about games, people are going to stop watching my TV show or stop reading my website and stuff like that. So it's kind of this weird thing where games pretend they don't exist. So we're now in a position where these big storms happen, you know, like, and it's an interesting thing. Where are you guys into? Because you guys are indie devs, stop fighting. I make my own engines. I make the games hard so you can work for it. You can work for your joy. And how are you guys in terms of that sort of like backlash and the big companies and all the rest of it? What's your relationship with them?
Well, we don't really have a relationship with them, but I also feel we don't really have a relationship with indies either. We're kind of we work with sort of technology that AAA started with, and we sort of do it on the indie scale. So we don't associate with either of them, and I think they don't associate with us either. They kind of see us as alien to both sides. We're kind of a little bit on the edge of the industry, really.
I associate with quite a few indie devs, but
No, I mean in terms of our way of doing it.
oh yeah,
In terms of their association with like how much they can connect with our use of technology and our
okay.
values and so on.
Yeah,
There aren't
I
very
think
many
so.
people doing things the way we do things. We don't really see it our way.
You get a few indie devs who write stuff from scratch in C++.
Yeah,
It's not
but it's a really
it's-
minority.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. I don't know, the backlash point of view, like, if you see that happening to indie dev, it's really scary because, like, when it's, like, you get small teams who occasionally hit that backlash that's kind of people are used to, like, swamping a large company, and then you see, like, a small group of people get hit by that, and that's, like, kind of terrifying from a indie dev point of view.
Do you know any examples when that's happened
I
recently?
mean, Hello Games is a big one. Like, there were not very many of those, and like, sure, like, they were quite like sort of outgoing personality kind of as the front of it, but that's like a few people that like, yeah.
It's a weird one at Hello because people do forget that they're a tiny little company. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they expanded a lot and all the rest of it, but that's a bloody good example actually in terms of But it didn't destroy him, did it? It made him stronger.
Yeah.
Eventually. Slowly.
Yeah, I've got so much respect that they just like carried on like updating it and putting stuff out. And
yeah, and it's a lot better. I mean, I'll be honest. I gave it a fair go after the update, and it's still kind of boring. It's a technical. Technically, it's amazing. It's wonderful, and I did like the missions and everything. But I'd already had my fill of that kind of.
I like flying around just taking photos, but
yeah, I don't get me wrong. Whilst I was like finding out for sure that that they hadn't done enough yet, I was there for like 30 hours just going space, having a great old time, and I made a little house, and it's great. Okay, it was lovely. It was all right. But there's a few glitches and stuff that are still there that just drive me absolutely mad. Not game breaking, but when the message comes up and it goes, please take that, and then it's like the thing, and it's like item, and it's like it's supposed to automatically fill it with a thing, and I'm like, come on guys, you've been on this for a long time. Do you fear then, in terms of, because especially you, Eugene, you're quite outspoken,
very much so,
and you don't mince your words from what I've seen at various points that I've met you and known you, various alcohol moments as well. Do you worry about that backlash in terms of your company?
No, because I think every statement we make is defensible. It's it's just logical. A lot of people don't like what we say because I don't know what I say anyway. Because
I was going to say, I'm getting that vibe here.
Tar, no go the same brush at all.
You keep saying we, and Nod just keeps going, well, actually, if you could drop a couple more eyes in there, I think he'd be slightly less red.
Well, I mean, case in point is, most of our sort of indie competitors, shall we say, and also our pals and everything else, they make games in Unity. And it's become kind of a cliche. You make indie games, you make it in a Unity engine, or maybe Unreal, or one of these off-the-shelf engines you can use for free. And it's not really programming. Well, it's not even close to programming most of the time. Some people do more advanced things with it, but that's rare. And I often say, that's not really making a game. You're just playing with an engine. You're operating Unity. You're not actually writing anything. You're not really making anything yourself. You don't have complete control. And that is not a very popular opinion. I'm sure a lot of people listening are going to not like that particular point of view. But of course, they'll defend it, say, it'd be so much harder to do it the other way. It does everything I need. And yeah, but if you're making a game in Unity, it's going to look and feel like any other Unity game. It's going to bias your creative process. It's going to limit your control to only those areas you can control. And then you're going to churn out more shovelware, basically, that's looks like another Unity game. So yeah, I say this all the time, and yeah, people moan about it, but what are they going to do? It should encourage them to actually uplift themselves and challenge themselves more, rather than saying, this guy thinks what we do kind of sucks, then we'll just get upset about it. No, you can just try and do better. And the whole game industry, I think, can try and do a little bit better.
I don't think Unity itself is the problem, but I'd
not
like
Unity
to see
itself.
More
the engines in general.
It's weird that everything is becoming Unity, but
yes, exactly. It swamps the whole thing, and then it's come to a point where, you're making an indie game. Here's your copy of Unity. Now you started.
And there is a bit of an issue at the moment with selling those packs, isn't there? Where it is basically the game, but it's not quite finished. But you're basically just pressing like one thing, and it's like, it's all done now. And it's supposed to be an asset pack, but it is actually just a full game that you can just resell, which is insane. I like the theme of tonight. Just try harder, everyone. No matter what you're doing. We're gonna take a little bit of an ad break now because they let us use this space, and we've just got to cover the costs of stream there because I don't pay for being here, so we're just gonna have a little tiny break and then we'll be right back.
Attention small business owner, when is a box more than just a box? No! No! Oh no, that's just weird. A box is more than just a box when it can give you a couple of extra hours in bed, or at the very least some time to do something more fun and or productive than bookkeeping. Just bang all your paperwork in a box and we'll take care of the rest. Accounts Direct. Accountants on your side.
Hello there, welcome back. We've not got that long left, actually. It's gone on really, really quickly. I did say at the top of the show that Twitch Prime subscribers, it financially supports us. We get $2.50 a month, and it doesn't cost you a penny. If you've got Amazon Prime, link it with your Twitch. Do that little subscribe thing. And we give stuff away every week. This week, we're going to be giving away a copy of SphereFace itself.
Really?
So you can be sitting there and you can be listening to all this and be going, yeah, whatever. Prove it to me. Show me that you're good. You won't even have to put your hand in your pocket if you're a Twitch Prime subscriber. I'm going to get someone random off the list before the show ends. Guys, there's a weird thing you were saying in that break then about things we've hidden. What do you mean things you've hidden? That was really ominous, that, because everything you said was like, and then, because I was just there, like, because checking the messages like I do, well, and then, and I felt myself go, what? Like that, like, what have you hidden in your games, dude?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say they're Easter eggs or anything. It's more fundamental than that. In many ways, the core plot of the game, what's really happening, is not immediately obvious. It's obscured, and you sort of reveal it as you play through. So I don't know how much we should give away about what SphereFace is really about. I guess if people listening to this are kind of going to be quite interested, but it's a bit of a spoiler. What do you think?
Yeah, it's maybe a spoiler, but like, I mean, you can say that there's like messages around, and that I don't know if everyone like really goes and reads everything that like goes through. And
Well, should we just tell them?
Oh, go on. Yeah.
All right. So in SphereFace, you begin initially your sort of point of view as kind of an asteroids type ship, and you're shooting this little pea shooter at asteroids or rocks of some kind. They fracture, they break up, just like in asteroids. And after a while, you go through to other spheres. When you clear a sphere, you collect more weapons, expand, and you've got these power-ups. But there's something a bit strange, because the power-ups run away from you sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And you begin to wonder, well, why do they do that? What's going on, really? And after a while, you begin to meet enemies. And when you destroy enemies, you find ship's logs that they drop. And the ship's logs begin to tell a story in communications about this sort of threat on the edge of the galaxy that they're discovering, and nothing is coming back alive from it. And as you play through, you begin to realize what's really happening, which is you're the space invader in the game. That's the real spoiler, basically.
You could have warned him! You could have warned.
So you're the bad guy, and all of the ships that you're attacking and destroying, they're from Earth, and your
Spoiler warning.
Spoiler alert, yeah. Your ultimate goal is basically to attack the Earth.
They're not going to buy it now.
They might like it more now.
They've had the emotional journey already. They're done with it.
I was quite proud of that twist, because you have to play all the way through normally to figure it out.
Yeah.
Or, read a spoiler on a wiki or something like that, where somebody's talked about it, or read a review where they've spoiled it. But the last sphere before the Earth sphere is this sort of moon. It is the moon, and so your last sort of target is to destroy the moon.
Are we telling everyone the end? Was it not enough? Just be shouting at you a minute ago.
But then after that, you go through one more portal, and then what happens next?
Wait.
More subtle, so I'm not going to tell.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
Check
out SphereFace to find out. It's going to be so cool, and it'll hit you like.
Is that the first time we've actually explained that anywhere?
There we go. Hilly's saying
maybe.
Hilly's like, I'm not getting it now.
My friend.
I'm not the end. come on, you knew what was going to happen in Rogue One, but it still didn't affect the emotional journey of it, did it, eh?
It's like Titanic, you know how it ends.
I want it now.
You want it?
Yeah.
Well, that seems like the perfect time to read out. If you are a Twitch Prime subscriber, I've just done a random number generator. You guys witnessed that, didn't you? Did you see me fiddling?
Yeah.
And I went down, and it is actually Hayden Hewitt who's won this evening. He's won a copy of Survey.
Nice.
He's right there.
Not rigged at all.
There you go. No, you saw me do it.
It really isn't actually. That's
Nobody on GameFace gets paid or anything like that, so it's actually quite nice sometimes if we can send. We're all volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I would have got fired months ago. No, come here. Guys, we are running out of time, so if you would like to Skype in and say hello, God, that is really bad, isn't it? 5:40.
A bit fuzzy.
I can't get all three of everyone on Skype.
No, we'll just tell us who you want to talk to, and we'll move them into position. So, GameFace Show Skype is your last chance to call if you would like to get in touch. I'm just going to check the comm sheet, see if there's any messages or anything like that. No, they've not been. Oracle, what are you doing? Send me the messages. Tell me. Fix again 2 weeks in a row. It's not. Oh, come on. They witnessed it. Do you know what, right?
Did this happen last week as well?
Well, it was Hannah, but you know what? She's not even been on the show for like months. And she's a Twitch. She financially supports this show. It's going to cost me loads.
Buy another copy for the members of another giveaway.
We'll have another giveaway. Should we do it? Well, he's going to buy a copy.
Nice.
We'll do another one. Here we go. I'll do it live. Why not?
It's not like 60 quid, is it?
No.
All right, I'll buy it.
Like 60.
Oh, there you go. For all you whinging, Hilly, you've just won it. Hey, are you happy now? PM me and I'll send you the code and you can sit there knowing the ending already. There you go. Happy people. There's a Ted just been in touch. Just ring. Go for it.
We know him.
It's open. You don't have to. I mean, you've added us, which is great. We're now friends. But and Yanni has just come up on my Steam.
Oh, nice.
He's just buggered off to play his game. We've got 9 minutes of the show left. Thanks for that. I just got a little Steam notification for him there. I've just realised though, these guys aren't plugged into the Skype, are they? So we'll have to scrap that.
Yeah, you're not plugged in either.
No. So no Skype. But I could fix that for me, but they won't be able to hear me.
No.
Would they?
No, it's just one person.
We've not got a 3-way splitter. It's not happening. So just type your messages, type your questions. And I'll attempt to read them. Go on.
So just ring.
Thanks, Graham, for the shout out on the UK speedrunning thing. They managed to raise over £1,000. That's wonderful. That was our open Skype last week, which was we did this thing last week, right? And it was like one of those. I was sat there at home because you've been on the radio show,
Yeah.
and you know that the sort of
Many
loose.
times.
Many times, a couple of times you were not invited, and I only knew you were
Those were
there
my favourite ones.
because you just crashed in, pulling the blinds off the window and all sorts. I was like, oh my
Bottle of
God,
wine in each hand.
I brought sushi. It's like, oh, cool. So we do have a lot of fun on the radio show, and not an issue, but this format's new for us, and me sort of going like that and going, hey, I'm trying to entertain you and all the rest of it, and I really wanted to bring some of the radio things. So last week we just had open Skype, and the first call was my girlfriend going, you've not taken the bins out, but it was harsh. She was like, she might have been smiling, but that's it. It sounded cold, man. You could see me just go, oh God, no. And I kind of wanted to do that this week with the thing, but I didn't consider the fact that there's no audio for you, Stu. It's not. How's that going to work?
Question.
That's awfully strange. Sorry, I'm tuning in rather late, but I've got to ask, how did you get in contact with Voxel Storm? Or vice versa, how did they get in contact with you? Good question. How did we meet?
We met at probably Superbite, the chiptune event.
Was it Superbike?
Well, we might have even met before then.
I've seen you. I mean, network.
Maybe at the museum when we had some sort of
Yeah, I think we talked a lot at the Museum of Science and Industry.
Yes,
I know, which they're doing it again right now. Actually, if you're in Manchester, Museum of Science and Industry are doing this big gaming thing. You can go there. It runs all day. You do sessions. Just search MSI Manchester or museums. You'll find it. It's all over the thing.
Worth coming to Manchester just for it, actually.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And yeah, I think we were chatting it like because I was doing the music, wasn't I?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because I blag it. I blag DJ bookings sometimes on the back of this nonsense. It's great.
And we were just exhibiting our games. It was Jim Bitlow, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. he's getting back on the scene now, you know,
Yep.
because he disappeared, didn't he, for ages. And I remember because it was about a year ago, because it was the very first Manchester Gamers Unite. You know, have you been to that yet?
Yes, yeah.
Really good.
Very good.
I can't make it as often as I'd like to, but that's been growing. But I remember the very first one. He was supposed to be providing the consoles because obviously no one knew who they were, so nobody, you know, the likes of you wasn't turning up. Because, you know, who are you?
Never heard of it, yeah.
Prove yourself. Prove yourself. So Jim was supposed to do, and there was a bit of a panic because he kind of disappeared, didn't he? I know he got, I don't know what happened, like he got ill or something. I don't know. You know, that's pure speculation, by the way.
I've been out of touch for a while.
But I've seen him popping up again recently, and I've been like, oh, Jim's back. I'll have to get him on sometime.
Should do.
But again, with getting him ill, though, well, he didn't come to our, we had him booked, he didn't turn up.
Oh, yeah. I remember,
yeah, so I was like, well, you know, like, how many times do you book someone and they don't turn up before you just go, all right?
Yeah, that was that one as well, wasn't I?
Yeah. Oh, because we had him booked, he was supposed to come.
And I just happened to drop in.
And you just happened to randomly turn up drunk.
Well, I just wanted to watch, listen, but yeah.
In terms of that, though, I mean, I don't know Ted, but in terms of meeting people, it's just networking. It's just networking. Just go to things. Go to every single thing. I mean, you guys did a launch thing for Sphereface that I didn't.
We always have
go
a
to.
launch party for each of our games. Yeah, that works quite well.
I really like the place you did. I like the place you did it in, actually. Alchemist, yeah.
Cocktails, good wine.
I was in a film that got showed there, and I was there, and it was me going,
oh, awesome.
like a Kickstarter thing. I was pretending to be scared, going, oh. But yeah, I got hammered. I couldn't go that night because I was ill. I was freaking out ill. I know, and I felt that bad. But I've made it up to you now by giving you this wonderful experience. Yeah. But seriously, network. I mean, in terms of me, in terms of GameFace, in terms of having people sat there, me and other people that work on the show, we just ask people, we just hassle them. There's a few things we do. Retro Joe has got quite a lot of followers on Twitter, so he has quite a lot of swing. If, you know, I'll say, Joe, mate, can you get this guy? Like, we've got Grant Kirkhope next week, huge guy, soundtracks for... not that I'm like, yeah, we got a proper guest next week. No, but you know what I mean. That was one of them where that was just send Joe with his 41k followers. Eugene, why the sunglasses? We just had that question.
It's really bright in here.
It is really bright.
You know what I was thinking? You know what I was thinking before when you had that sort of air about what you were saying about, like, you know, we just do whatever we want and everything. I was thinking about Conor McGregor. And you've got the beard coming in now. And I'm thinking, the second one of your games, because you guys sell well, you're respected and all the rest of it. The second one of your games really sparks, really goes viral, and just, you know, like the next player unknown or whatever, you know. The second that happens, you are just going to be the Conor McGregor of the indie scene, aren't you?
Don't know how I feel about that.
Just walking around, Eugene. He is, isn't he? He's like a Conor McGregor seedling. Just waiting to go. That's why he's got the sunglasses on. He is.
Not sure how I feel about that.
You are. I know you are, because my brother's exactly the same, and I know it because I had to grow up with it. It's like, all right. And yeah, he's lead singer in a band now, isn't he? He loves it. He's like,
right, I'll take it then.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's like you have to have confidence. Of course you do. You can't do it because otherwise, well, you have to have different skill sets, don't you? Like, I'm all this mouthy, gabby, whatever the hell I am. But there's loads of people that work on GameFace, and they've all got different areas and skills and all the rest of it. And there's some guys that we just ask for advice because, you know, I just have to. And then there's some people like our Debs now. Everything goes through Debs, actually, in terms of bookings. I snuck you guys in. Yeah. On the sly, yeah, because I've got some swing left, you know. I'm not totally out of the loop yet, but yeah, I snuck you guys. Normally, you'd have to go through Debs. If whoever got your email, that was her. GameFace in it. Yeah. Send me a key now. Yeah. And yeah, that's her. That. Right. So there you go. That's our interview anyway. That was nice. I enjoyed that.
Nice.
I'm liking that more now. Stepping away from the buy Sphereface. It's good. They've worked very hard on it.
Fairly hard.
I want to know who you are. Do you know what I mean, as a person? Have you got any shout-outs or anything like that before we scoot?
Yeah, a shout out to everybody who's on Telegram, who's been turning up here. Everybody from the photography group, from the gaming group, obviously from the Voxel Storm group. Hi. Good to see you all.
Shout out to Game Dev Ed and Ed Indies in Edinburgh, which I'm down from. But
Yep. Hi to everybody from the group that probably shouldn't be mentioned on live TV as well. One beginning in M that you know who you are.
Mystery group.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm just checking. David St. David had said Eugene needs Connor's tattoos. You do, man. I'm telling you. Guys, if you could do me a favour, even if you're not going to buy Sphere Face, please get it on Steam. Just share the link or whatever. Share this and just share. Please. We'll be up on YouTube very soon. GameFace Show, all one word, GameFace Show. Please drop us a subscribe. Click the little bell, because that's what you got to do now, aren't you? Because subscribing means nothing these days.
Yeah, you've got to get alerts separately now.
You've got an extra subscribe. Subscribing is just going, yeah, I like you. It's the same with this Twitch thing. As soon as I knew we'd be getting to, because we don't ask for money. We don't Kickstarter. We've never done any of that. We all lose an insane amount of money because we just love it. I love this environment, and I love the fact that everyone's trolling me and that. I love that feeling.
They really are.
But this thing now with Twitch Prime, we were like $2.50 a month, and it doesn't cost you a penny. I'm on it. Hassling people. You know what you've got to do? You've got to resubscribe every 30 days.
Oh, that sucks.
So you're clicking subscribe, but you're not subscribing, and the same goes for YouTube anyway. Please do subscribe. Click the little bell. GameFace Show, all one word.
Could we remind people to subscribe and share on Facebook as well? Share the Facebook because it goes back on live. It goes back on pre-recorded.
Oh yeah. If you are,
share it widely.
That's true. Yeah, because if you share the Twitch, they're just going to click it and it'll say offline. So don't share this. Share our Facebook, GameFace Show, all one word. It's true that, isn't it? Because even after we're off air, it just becomes a video. And it's in HD as well. I'm having a word with Twitch. Thank you so much, TechKid6. I very much appreciated it. Twitch.
He's our web developer.
Oh, thank you so much. I really, genuinely, legit do. Our Adobe Premiership alone. Like, we're on $56 a month from Twitch now. Doesn't even cover the Adobe. That's like 70.
Yeah.
So we're not even on just our editing software yet. So thank you. Mwah, much love. Guys, much love. Can we have you back sometime?
Anytime.
Yeah, we should get you on the radio. We'll have a bottle of sake on the radio.
I like the radio because no one can see just how much I'm drinking. This is water. You're mistaken. You know?
I was telling Aidan about some of the things that have gone on previous times when I've met you, and Aidan was looking around at all the gear because we've got all the lights and green screen, and he was just like, you are going to have a word out. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Never broken anything yet, as far as I can remember. No. But then there's a lot I can't remember.
I love it when you order takeout. and it didn't arrive until like 35 minutes after the show had finished, and I was like really tired. I've just like drove the show. You were livid, so I was like managing you as best I could, and I just wanted to go, and he made me sit on the steps outside Fab Towers and eat it. And I was like, all right, and then you, because you wanted to go to the pub.
Of course,
we'll eat it.
The natural place to go after.
We'll eat it in Fab Cafe. It'll be wonderful. And then I think you did drag me to Fab for one. Yeah. And I was just like, I really want to go.
You were properly falling asleep.
I'd just become a dad. That was the thing. I was like fresh dad. I hadn't slept for like 3 months or something. And I really need to go, guys. This is like way beyond my things now. But I'm getting used to being a dad now. It's all right. I'm getting there slowly.
Realising you don't need sleep after all.
No, I just embraced the madness. I did. I completely did. Anyway, that's our show. We're running way over now, so I'm going to love you and leave you. Should we all do like a cheesy wave at the end?
Yeah.
Just leave it.